What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. You become apprised whenever great content is going live here at the Odd Chopper channel. 11-game NBA slate. I don't even want to dilly-dally here at the top of this show. Lots to get to, lots to break down for you. But first, signing up at DraftKings has never been easier. So if you've been thinking about it, if you've been on the fence about it, now is the time. Because you bet $5. You don't even need a winner. You will get $200 in free bets when you sign up in the video description box below. Simply click on that link. It takes you about 60, 90 seconds, depending on how fast you are with your fingers, doing the typing thing. You know, you see those kids, they're so fast with that stuff. But you got to be 21 or older, so do that. Bet $5, win $200 right now at DraftKings. Signing up for like 90 seconds in the video description box below. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but as I said, 11 games. I'm excited for this week. Let's kick it off right. Let's get to the picks. First up is a little New York matinee special, like this was a Broadway show or something. It's afternoon basketball at the Garden with the Knicks hosting the Suns. And no Devin Booker for the Suns as they continue to not have him. That's a problem. But at least Landry Shamet, campaign in the membrane. They're probable coming back to the Suns, so they'll at least have some semblance of an improved rotation at the guard spot around Chris Paul. And for a fourth straight game post-Christmas, Jalen Brunson is questionable. And with RJ Barrett in his 40-ish minutes, yeah, that's Thibodeau for you, already ruled out here, there's legit super smash potential for Randall if Brunson misses. I wanted to talk about this, so I'm just going to do it. I mean, have you seen his stat lines without those two the past few games? I'll consider the game on December 27th to be played without both, because Barrett did hurt his hand instantly in that one. But we're talking 43 minutes per night, 35 points per game, almost 14 boards per game, and the real kicker north of 5 assists per his last 3. That's increased production all the way around for a man averaging 24, 9.5, and 4 on the year. And I think it's going to be expected. Yeah, I expect that kind of production until the Knicks are back to full strength. Now, books are not stupid, and we won't get a number here until there's more clarity on Brunson's status. But I want his PRA on my card if it's less than 45. Yeah, you heard me, 45. It could be north of that at this point, but it's been under that the last few outings. It has been smashed. It is an absolute smash of a play here again in this spot. But as it stands right now, FanDuel's the only book brave enough to post a number on this one. A virtual pick'em here. You know, you're seeing -1. It's a pick'em, basically. And I'm leaning the Suns here as they are the much better basketball team if you don't have Jalen Brunson out there and they get Shamet and Payne back. Still a far cry from Booker, but still. And Brunson is such a defensive liability if he does play. I've talked about it multiple times on the show, but it bears repeating. Bottom 5th percentile in terms of defensive estimated plus-minus this season. I can't possibly vouch against Chris Paul here in the Garden. I think even if the star Knicks point guard is in, it's an all right play. So I have a minuscule like on the Suns money line. I will be much more interested in hammering the Randall PRA, though, if Brunson ends up being out. We've got the Lakers and Hornets up next, and it's almost like LeBron James is good at this basketball thing, huh? Yeah? Dude's 38. He's out there putting up 47 on kids 15 years as junior. 38, 47, 15. Lots of numbers. When it comes down to, he's one of the GOATs. Don't at me. Don't think we should just start appreciating this guy is what I'm getting at. He is insanely good, especially because he plays on a cesspool of sadness and broken dreams of a basketball team, especially with Anthony Davis out. Yay, Lakers. Woo, your fans aren't the absolute worst. Yeah, they are. But this is another virtual pick'em, and my goodness, I have zero lean here as opposed to the game before. My goodness, though. The total? 232.5? That's not nearly enough for what is a game that should be on a medium outcome basis, one that hits a lot higher and ends up hitting at a higher rate than 232.5 being a -110 type outcome where you need more than 55% of the time to win. Here's what I'm getting at. I have this projected around 238. I mean, the Lakers are 3rd in pace. The Hornets are 8th. Both are top 10 worst defensive basketball teams by every advanced metric. No Davis is on defense on the interior for the Lakers. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Slam play in the second game of the day, friends. Lock button, the over of 232.5, a number I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't 2, 3, even 4 points higher by the time you listen to this. So hit it now, hit it hard, over 232.5, it's a lock. Kind of an interesting one that we've got here. We've got the Bulls visiting Cleveland, and normally, when you think of these two teams, you would expect a much larger spread than you're seeing with -3, but Darius Garland is doubtful, and Evan Mobley is questionable. Now, I expect this line to move more in Cleveland's direction if you have Mobley who gets ruled in. I doubt it moves a whole heck of a lot towards like 2.5 if Mobley gets ruled out. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm just saying it looks like it's adjusted as if Mobley isn't going to play, already factored in for Garland being doubtful. So I'm definitely seeing some more value going to the Cleveland side if I'm trying to do anything. Maybe you get the surprise Mobley ends up playing here. Not a surprise. He's truly, I think, a questionable guy, but I smashed it last week. It was maybe the easiest play we've had all year. Zach LaVine put up 27 first half points, hit that over of 22.5 that we locked last Friday, I believe it was. And we got to go back to the well, but I'm going to go back to the well in a very unique way. I don't talk about single game parlays on this a whole lot, mainly because I don't parlay my bets very often unless I'm playing on Prize Picks, and I don't want you guys to be doing that too often. However, there is a small boost that you can get on FanDuel right now as I put it in for Zach LaVine over 2.5 threes and over 21.5 points. Part of what happens is when you take Darius Garland off the floor, you have a worse defender. You're going to be seeing a lot more minutes going to the likes of everybody else on that secondary unit. And I don't see Karis LeVert being nearly the kind of defender that Darius Garland's going to be long-term. You do get Isaac Okoro who could see more minutes. That's a decent perimeter defender. But if Evan Mobley sits, my dear God, the defensive efficiency of this Cleveland team becomes far less adequate. So I'm going as far to say Zach LaVine, no Garland defense, over 2.5 threes. And if he does that, probably going over 21.5 points. Small little boost to go together. We're doing that. You have no idea what I'm doing in podcast form. Actually, I don't know what I'm doing. Is this a make-believe basketball? What? There you go. For 3, Zach LaVine. Lock it. Just like you should lock this up. Atlanta money line. Now, this is weird to me. Again, free $200. You're getting a free $200 just by betting this. So, Atlanta money line, I just see if you bet $5, it's a quick trigger kind of thing that you can do where you can make a little bit more than 5 on the side. I don't want to have you guys bet some -400 thing just because this $5 is a free bet at DraftKings. So sign up in the video description box below. Sign up at DraftKings if you haven't yet. Congratulations. You're going to get $200 instantly when you bet $5 on the Atlanta money line, regardless of what happens in that game. So that's the pathway. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to get yourself $200 to be able to utilize in the NBA streets, the Monday night NFL streets, whatever you guys want, you will have $200 for. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. Toronto and Indiana up next. I love Tyrese Halliburton. I hope you know that by now. I bet him almost every single day. It's been wild watching some of the swings, but he's started to take over more of a usage role for this Pacers team. Just saying, the assist totals have been way down of late. Not nearly the 50% assist rate we had for basically the first 2 months of the season. Something to be paying attention to long-term, but I've definitely been more on the side of him scoring of late. It's been nice. 23, 29, 24 over in 3 straight, averaging 21 a game. We'll see where that points prop opens up for this one because it might end up a little bit lower than you expect facing Toronto. Of course, the big news in this one, you have Fred VanVleet questionable for what feels like the 50th game in a row, even though it's been like a week. Just because I feel like Toronto plays every day, and when they do, they play Fred VanVleet a lot. So something to be keeping in mind. With that in mind, I really like the Toronto side of this one going up against the Pacers because I have this adjusted with Fred VanVleet in to be about 5. I've got it around 3. So yeah, I'm willing to eat a little bit of the extra half point it would be where I get screwed over if Fred VanVleet doesn't play. Pretty easy like candidate for me. This Pacers team's been one that we've been on the side of more often than not of late. I think we are better off going up against them here. Not anything crazy, not really a ton of analysis other than my model says this looks better. Go to the Toronto side. What in the absolute world? We have the Pelicans facing Philadelphia and 11 threes by CJ McCollum last time these two teams played. Okay, sure, totally normal things. Just like I'm a totally normal person giving you totally normal advice on youtube.com about how to bet and where to bet. I'm normal, guys. I promise. I'm fun. You should invite me to parties. Actually, don't. I'm not going to come. But we've got New Orleans and Philadelphia here. I'm pretty sure that they'll be guarding CJ McCollum a little bit more than they did last time around. That's just hashtag analysis, don't you think? I think so, but the big news, of course, you get Tyrese Maxey back in the fold. So good to see the main three guys, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, back on a floor together. Of course, only 19 minutes for Tyrese Maxey in that debut against the Pelicans. Didn't look very good. CJ McCollum hits 11 threes. That's going to be problematic. So they're going to make some adjustments, and they get out of New Orleans and go to Philadelphia for this one. Feel pretty confident that if I bet anything in this one, I think it's going to be on the Philadelphia side, and that makes me feel awkward because Zion Williamson, somebody that we have been hammering points props at the right time, got away from it against Memphis because I had a bad feeling there. Actually, no, it just didn't project out nearly as well, but I might be going back to the well there again. 9 turnovers for Zion Williamson against Memphis. That's not a normal kind of thing that we're going to see from him. But CJ McCollum, bet he doesn't make 11 threes here. Bet the 76ers. If you could do anything, that's where I'm going to be leaning. Yes, leaning. Not sure if it makes the card. We'll find out tomorrow. Oh my God. Look at this line. It is so big. I bet it's one of those Brooklyn lines. I like big spreads and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. When the Nets walk in with the nitty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you bet 13.5. That's what we're going to do, friends. 13.5 points? What? My model is notoriously terrible at figuring out how to go about these double-digit spreads. But there is nothing that I am seeing from the Nets side that isn't getting a like button on this. Without Devin Vassell, if he's going to be questionable for this one, Keldon Johnson, this is the best basketball team over the course of the last 3 weeks, and I don't think it's remotely close. They have found the winning formula. Ben Simmons just coming off the bench, doing fantastic things, starting, doing fantastic things. Doesn't matter who starts, who plays, how things work. I want 13.5, and there's nothing that's getting me away from betting this. I think they win by 20. You want to bet an alternate spread? Have an alternate spread. But if you didn't like Sir Mix-a-Lot, never watch my videos again. All right, I'm a professional doing professional things talking about Dallas and Houston. Look at these two basketball teams from Texas, the Lone Star State, doing fantastic things. I hate that voice. Never doing that again either. But Dallas, hey, this is a basketball team we've had a good pulse for. You know why? Because we've bet Luka Doncic everything, and it's gone very, very well. So why would I get away from that? I think for all of you spread people, Eric, you never give us enough props. Eric, you never give us enough spreads and totals. I'm going to bet -7.5 Dallas. There you go. But it's not what's going to go in the pick section because it's not my favorite bet from this game. It has to be Luka Doncic in terms of points. And the thing I'm going to recommend because of what the number is, threes plus, 3.5 threes? I'm getting plus money going that direction. I think that that's an absolute slam dunk coming off of another weak opposition here. You're just going to see Luka just burning it all down here of late. It's incredible what we're seeing. Now he's the MVP favorite. Nothing that will get me away from him. How about this? 50, 32, 60, 35, 51. Those are his point totals the last 5. That isn't even real life. That's not even real life. So bet that. Bet Dallas spread. Bet the over of 3.5 threes. If you want to put the 3 together in a single parlay, that's your own thing. I'm going to bet them individually. Next, we go to Minnesota. My Minnesota Timberwolves facing Denver on a back-to-back. How egregious is that to start off your new year? Denver plays on Sunday, going on the road here on Monday. At least they're facing a very terrible basketball team in the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's been really, really brutal to watch here of late. But I think Jamal Murray sat out the front end of this one just because on Sunday they want to utilize him only on these one of the 2 back-to-backs all season long. Think that he ends up suiting up on Monday. Maybe Jokic gets a surprise sit, and that is the one thing I'm very, very worried about. But if I get word that he's in, I just flat out assume Jamal Murray is playing basketball. And I can't possibly look at anything we've seen from this Minnesota team as a positive right now. Rudy Gobert has been a disaster. Naz Reid is the better center offensively right now. Nathan Knight is playing backup minutes and having to play alongside Naz and Gobert at times. I mean, what are we even doing here? Anthony Edwards is just being wasted here at the moment. We need positives, but we also need money. And that's why Denver money line is where I will lean here. Not going to be a bet as of yet. Haven't liked it, haven't locked it, just leaning that direction. More information that we got to find out on this back-to-back from the Denver side. Next up, we've got the Hawks visiting Golden State and the Warriors. No Steph Curry, no Andrew Wiggins. No problem. Golden State finding ways to win basketball games in the most unique fashions possible. Beat Portland at home, beat Utah at home, beat Charlotte at home, beat Memphis at home. They're on a nice little run here of late. Lots that we're seeing, but you know what that means? Negative regression is in store. And Jordan Poole, Ty Jerome, finding ways to be effective for this basketball team. Draymond Green been playing a lot better of late too. Dante DiVincenzo playing huge minutes for this basketball team. Gotta say, I think this Atlanta team, I'm just going to beat my head against the door for the millionth time with them, as I recommend Atlanta, because I don't know what to make of them, but they should be better than what they are. Clint Capella, yes, he will continue to be out here, but with Bogdanovich back in the fold, with DeJounte Murray and Trae Young healthy, with John Collins and Okongwu playing good when he's staying out of foul trouble, this is the better basketball team on paper by every metric, and it makes me want to put a small play on the Atlanta money line. Yeah, it does. I recommended it for the DraftKings free bet, so make sure you do that. Put $5 on it. You can win 200 plus. Hey, you win that $5 bet, you're going to get a little bit better than $10 in return. So plus 135, pretty nice number to be getting on what I believe is the better basketball team. Sure, it's on the road, but I'm getting plus 135 to find out. Give me that every time. We got 2 more to go. Don't forget to hit that like button, friends, as we go to the Pistons and the Portland Trail Blazers. And congratulations, today is that day. I'm not recommending Bojan Bogdanović. Yeah, I'm not even going to say his name other than that. He's that guy. He's he who shall not be named, as if he's Voldemort from Harry Potter. But then I just said Voldemort, so why not? I'll say Bojan again. Bojan. It's the Pokemon. It's not really. I love him. His points props have been too high. I hope you've gotten the memo. The last couple, that's all I have to say about that. But his inopportunity means opportunity for other players. We've seen Sadiq Bey jump in there, have a little bit more effectiveness. And I do think with Detroit here of late, we have Killian Hayes, who's still on that suspension, 3-game suspension here. This will be number 2 for him. I think Jaden Ivey is going to be somebody that projects out really, really well for me in the points props as well. I've bet him the last few, hasn't always gone well, but doesn't mean that you stop now. He's had nearly a 27% usage rate without Cade Cunningham on the floor this season. That's close to our guy Bojan, who's been around 28%. Doesn't get to the line as much, still figuring out his ways as a rookie here out of Purdue, but he's got a long leash. You have no Killian Hayes there. I think Jaden Ivey, I will be betting it up to 16.5, assuming minus 110 or better juice. If it's anything north of that, probably goes into the lean territory. It would be more of a thin play, but that's where he's been sitting around a lot of late. You know, Bojan's been 21.5. If they're going to have nearly identical usage rates and Jaden Ivey is going to have the longer leash going forward, could probably play blowout minutes, even in a spot where they're going to be nearly 10-point dogs, I think that makes for a good bet. And our last game of the night, we get a really, really good one. We get the Miami Heat going into LA facing this Clippers team. And hey, I bet the Clippers Friday. I don't regret it. Hashtag no regrets. Right across the chest. Love that meme. But either way, whatever. They competed very, very hard. Almost found a way against Boston, even though they were down 10 later into that game. Really made it interesting. 3-point game with 30 seconds left. I think that that's just a win overall, having them go out and compete and look good with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard sharing the floor. We have to wait on Nicholas Batum news. He's questionable, but everybody else, they matter far more for this basketball team, specifically my boy Zubats, playing big minutes at center, doing a lot of really, really good things for this basketball team over the last 10 or so games. As for Miami on the other side, Jimmy Butler is now probable for this one. We've had Tyler Hero playing hero ball, quite literally, that 3-point W that he hit against Utah. That was good stuff. But I'm telling you right now, you get a full blast Clippers team, you're still going to be betting them minus 198. So this is my attach this to any parlay play that you want. I'm not saying to go out and bet this one individually. I think I might be playing a -4 spread on this, but I want to lock in the money line. I know you parlay people love attaching these favorites together, and this one I can get behind. For once, I'm going to allow you to piece this with any other lock that I have on the board. Don't necessarily have to go out and bet this one individually, although I think the -4 is something I also like. I'm going to attach it to something else as well. Hopefully, we can post some screenshots at the end of the night at me, at Eric Lindquist on Twitter. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. So you know what to do. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Monday's NBA card. It's a massive, massive day of NBA. Happy New Year to you all. Good to be back here in the Odd Shopper streets, talking a little round ball with you all. But don't forget to sign up at DraftKings on the way out. Don't forget to sign up at the Premium Betting Discord as well. Use promo code ELInsider. Get your first week free. Come hang out with me. Get my betting card every single day, Monday through Friday. Happy to oblige. Would love to have you there. All righty, y'all. I'm out of here. Until Tuesday, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Monday.